Well, should we move on to the main event?
Yes, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
The face that runs the place.
The champ that runs the camp. Except he...
Get ready to fly.
He hates that theme song.
Oh, that's such a good theme song, though. It's not his best theme song, but that's a really good one.
My personal favorite is I Am. His first TNA theme song.
That's a good one. My favorite of all time is Demigods. I love that song.
Look, my thing, AJ Styles jump-started my love for indie wrestling because I, through a friend who was wrestling on the indies, we had a mutual friend. That mutual friend called me one night and he's like, hey, would you mind ordering this pay-per-view event for Matt? And I'm like, what is it? And he goes, TNA. And I'm like, yeah, I've watched it a couple times. No problem. And I'd been a fan of AJ from when I originally watched it, but I was not a fan of the whole sports entertainment extreme storyline. Anything involving Vince Russo is stupid. So that storyline was just dumb, and they just drug AJ through it, in and out. Was he a part of it? Was he not? And then when they finally brought him into it, he was still getting a face reaction, so they kicked him out of it. But now you add Jeff Jarrett, it was a mess.
Yeah.
They flubbed that situation up. But I remember just being blown away by him.
Yeah.
And everything he did, besides nearly breaking Frankie Kazarian's neck on a Styles Clash.
I don't know if you can really say that's his fault, though.
It's Kazarian's 100%.
Yeah.
Frankie tucked his head and shouldn't have.
Which is the one thing it's the only thing you're not supposed to do on a Styles Clash. If you honestly just sit there, like, AJ will guide you through the move, no problem. But guys like to tuck their heads for some reason. Roderick Strong almost died on it one time.
Because you don't. Why do we have a picture of his crotch?
I'm gonna fix that.
AJ Styles was really the guy that introduced me to wrestling outside of WWE, because I remember I was watching WWE almost exclusively. And then, Thursday night.
DVDs from one of your cousins.
Yeah, you got those back, so whatever.
Yeah. Eventually.
Yeah, after I watched them all.
10 to 12 years later.
But yeah, I didn't know of TNA at the time, but you're scrolling through the channels and, you find wrestling on. Me, when I was young, I was like, oh, hey, wrestling. But, I was like, this isn't WWE, but it looked different. It was different than what they were doing. It was a 6-sided ring. I had never seen that before. Mm-hmm. And
I hated this 6-sided ring.
You had this
stupid.
And then you had this guy that, he was moving like nobody else. He had a presentation like nobody else. And that guy was AJ Styles. And it was always a guy you would tune into TNA for to watch. You would tune into TNA to watch what AJ Styles was doing. Or go ahead.
No, he was actually the first wrestler I ever met.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I met him at a show Easter Eve. Those of you who have followed us from the beginning will know this promotion. IWA Mid-South, ran by Ian Rotten. One of the 5 guys in pro wrestling I would not piss on to put out a fire. Ian still owes me $150+. Son of a bitch. But I met him. I remember like just like, dude, you're so cool. Like it was, if you've ever seen the Saturday Night Live sketch, the Chris Farley show,
Yeah.
where he meets all these celebrities and he's like, hey, you remember you were in that movie? That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That was me with AJ.
Ah.
Yeah.
Like, and then my buddies and I saw him and Colt Cabana doing commentary in front of us for the event, and Colt Cabana showing AJ Styles nudie pictures
Oh, really?
taken with his Polaroid camera.
Huh.
Yeah. He was in.
That's the AJ Styles I remember.
He
Yep.
was in WCW for the end of WCW.
And Air
Right
Styles.
at the end,
Yeah. They totally misused him. Shocker.
yeah.
And then I don't even think his contract got picked up by WWE. Did it
No.
not?
Yeah, I
No.
mean, he was on a per show deal, if I had to guess.
More than likely, yeah.
But he did. I mean, WWE eventually. He was on some of their B shows. Metal,
Yeah, he had a.
Jacked.
Mm-hmm.
They offered him a developmental contract, but because his wife was going to college to be a teacher, he turned him down.
Yeah.
And then I mean TNA is born not long after.
Yeah, he basically does shows for NWA Wildside, which was NWA Southern Territory. And here comes NWA TNA, and it's run by the Jarretts. There's money involved, and they bring on AJ Styles and shortly after they start, and basically they put a bottle rocket on his back.
Yeah, he was the first ever X Division champion, and I mean, rightfully so, because I mean, AJ Styles, younger AJ Styles, there was no one like moving like him.
No.
There was no one doing moves like him. Like he was genuinely like one of those work rate guys that you could always count on having a good match, no
I
matter who
remember
you put
one
him
of
in
the
there with.
controversies with AJ during the early X Division was the money match was him versus Christopher Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
That was the money match. And TNA wanted to build towards it and build towards it and build towards it. Ring of Honor just kind of gave it to the fans.
Yeah.
Really?
It was like after intermission match of one of their shows.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
They might have-
It's just like
They might have
Wow.
done that with AJ and Samoa Joe also, where
they did.
ROH did the match before TNA could.
Well, they did it long before because Joe had
Well,
no interest in
yeah.
joining TNA.
Well, because it was during Joe's ROH title run. I
Right.
think. Yeah.
And Joe, once again, had no interest in joining TNA
Yeah.
at that point in time. There just wasn't. He was making enough money. He was doing well enough with
Yeah.
Ring of Honor and indie shows. And two, he really was kind of in control of his own creative with Ring of Honor. He could say, I want to face this guy. And look, at that point in time, Ring of Honor probably had the best talent of any organization in professional wrestling.
Yeah, like
You had-
02
you had
to 04 Ring of
Samoa
Honor.
Joe, Homicide, you had
Brian.
Samoa Joe, Homicide, CM Punk, Davey Richards, Brian Danielson, Austin Aries, Roderick Strong. You had other guys that were doing one-shots for him at that time. Chris Hero, Claudio Castagnoli,
Matt Hardy.
Matt Hardy. So you had guys they also had a partnership with All Japan.
Yeah.
Where and that like people talk about AEW opening this forbidden door. Ring of Honor did it long before AEW even did it.
Yeah.
Because they did the partnership with All Japan. They actually went over to All Japan and did a show.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a show with FWA in England. So they really were the only organization where if you wanted to take on these guys internationally,
and
you had to be in Ring of Honor. I mean, TNA would book them occasionally, but you were given like 10 to 12 minutes. Ring of Honor, they're like, what do you want to do? Oh, you want 20? Go.
Yeah.
You want 30? Hey.
And AJ is a big part of early Ring of Honor, where
he's also a part of what could have been the downfall of Ring of Honor.
Yeah. It very easily could have been the end of Ring of Honor, yeah.
It really but Austin, you're right. AJ was him and Christopher Daniels were huge parts of early Ring of Honor. Yeah. I mean, people talk about CM Punk. CM Punk was really brought in as a mid-card guy for Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he was never, because the main event guys were Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, AJ,
Homicide.
CM Punk was never. Yeah, CM Punk was never meant for that spot, but things happen. He gets up to that spot and he proves himself.
Boy, did they happen!
And if what happened, AJ could very easily be in the spot that CM Punk was in. But
AJ was going to be because the original plans were Samoa Joe was not supposed to have the 2+ year title reign he had in Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Samoa Joe was supposed to be more of a bridge champion. It was supposed to be a bridge from getting the belt off Xavier and getting it to Christopher Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
What happened, and we teased this last week, was a scandal that could have killed Ring of Honor, and almost did. Rob Feinstein was the owner of Ring of Honor. He owned RF Video, which is very important because that RF Video did all the shoot interviews. They also gained their fame by doing ECW fan cams. These were recordings of ECW house shows. They also would do a plan where you could pay a fee every month and get that month's episodes of ECW Hardcore TV sent to you. So you could watch them before the pay-per-view. So if you didn't have ECW in your area, you could still keep track of ECW. ECW was their moneymaker. ECW, when ECW closed, all they had were international footage from the territories, and their shoot interviews. Rob Feinstein decided to start Ring of Honor, where it would be just really pro wrestling. It wouldn't be the entertainment part of it. Yes, you would have promos, but it would be hard-hitting action. They had the Code of Honor, which was 5 rules that unless the Code of Honor was thrown out, and you guys are going to laugh at this and think that this is just kayfabe, but it's not. They strictly believed in this. Every match had to have a winner. You could not get yourself counted out or disqualified. Do not put your hands on another official. Do not interfere in someone's match. And But there was another one. I forget the fifth one. But basically, that was kind of an edict to the fans that you guys, we're not going to give you swerve finishes.
Yeah.
We're going to give you matches that have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a clear-cut winner. Born out of this, of course, now you set it up where you can have a heel faction come in.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Prophecy, led by Christopher Daniels, who didn't believe. Oh, the fifth rule was you shook hands.
It was the hand. It was the hand. Yeah, you had to adhere to the code of honor, which was the
by
handshake.
shaking your opponent's hand.
Yep.
And the Prophecy didn't adhere to that.
Mm-mm.
So what happened was the Prophecy brings in this big bad bodyguard, Samoa Joe. Now, Ring of Honor is really picking up steam here. TNA has their weekly pay-per-views. TNA talent appears on Ring of Honor because it's mutually beneficial. You have CM Punk that ends up appearing on Ring of Honor TV, on Ring of Honor, and on TNA. He is a part of Raven's group on TNA, feuding with Raven in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
AJ Styles, Jerry Lynn, and Christopher Daniels. Those are the key players in all this. So what ends up happening is Ring of Honor announces they're going nationwide. They're going to go to the East Coast. They were mainly an East Coast promotion. They're going to go to the Southeastern region. They're going to go to the South. They're going to go to the Midwest. They're going to go to the West Coast even. Well, 2 weeks before Ring of Honor launches this endeavor called Reborn with a 3-part card. Part 1 was going to be in Wisconsin. Part 2 in Chicago Ridge, Illinois. Part 3 was going to be on the West Coast somewhere, I think. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia TV station, born out of To Catch a Predator, does a sting operation for people trying to catch child predators. One of the people they catch trying to diddle a little kid is Rob Feinstein.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they air the Rob Feinstein segment.
Oh man, holy hell, is that awkward?
All hell breaks loose.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind that a big part of the Reborn was going to be Samoa Joe versus Christopher Daniels. So what happens is TNA, NWA pulls all NWA contracted talent from Ring of Honor.
Yep.
That means the 4 key guys here: AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Jerry Lynn, and CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, and Punk talked about this.
There's the clip. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it.
And yeah, it was bad.
Him running to his car is admittedly very hilarious.
So what ends up happening is, and CM Punk talks about this in one of his ROH promos.
Mm-hmm.
Those 4 guys meet. Jerry Lynn is sticking with TNA. He's like, I make more than enough money here. My wife and kids have went without in the past with ECW. I'm not doing that to him. I can't work as an indie wrestler.
I mean, that's very fair. Very fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay with TNA. My career's winding down. I need to make money. Cool. Christopher Daniels, same thing. Because Christopher Daniels, they called him Old Man Daniels.
Yeah.
Back then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Daniels was like, look, I've already had a major neck injury. I can still do other indie shows.
Yeah.
I can do other NWA shows. I'll be fine. Ring of Honor is going to be dead anyway. I'm out. And I'm greatly paraphrasing here, people, but you're getting the gist of it.
Yeah.
AJ's like, look, I'm the man.
Yeah.
Here in TNA. I'm out. I'm not dealing with a guy who did this, because at that time, Rob Feinstein's like, no, I'm not selling Ring of Honor.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
This is a major misunderstanding.
It always is, right? Isn't that what they always tell Chris Hansen?
The Dow is at 50,000. Maybe he should have said that.
Well, he couldn't have said that then, but the same situation now, he could say it.
Yeah.
It would be valid. Yeah,
I mean, maybe he could have said it like it was at 35,000.
You gotta think where AJ was at that point in TNA, though. I believe
he was their champion.
He had just won the NWA title for the first time, beating Jeff Jarrett, and he was the guy that you tuned into TNA for.
It also affected Raven. They pulled Raven. They pulled Daphne. There was a lot of them that they pulled that I haven't listed. Anyone associated with TNA could not work Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So CM Punk is like, I'm a mid-carder here. Ring of Honor, though, I've worked Terry Funk. I have this program with Steamboat that they've put me on. I'm working guys. I'm getting better. I'm getting noticed. I don't have a wife. I don't have a kid. I can live on what I make. I think, and CM Punk felt that with what he was saying, basically what he laid out is, with all of us, we could take Ring of Honor over.
Yeah.
Over TNA. We could be the second biggest promotion in America.
Yeah.
Now, depending on who you talk to, according to CM Punk, there was an understanding that those three guys that him and Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles were gonna stick together.
Yep.
They were gonna go to TNA management and they were gonna say, we're still gonna work Ring of Honor. We want to work with you, but you either let us work Ring of Honor or we're done. Well, according to CM Punk, what happened was AJ and Christopher Daniels were given guaranteed deals.
Yeah.
They basically said, screw you to Ring of Honor. They're like, this is guaranteed money. We're out the door. CM Punk wasn't offered guaranteed money.
Okay.
So CM Punk is like, then I'm out. Now, keep in mind, CM Punk had also there might have been some heat on him backstage because he had the backstage fight with Teddy Hart at TNA at that point in time.
It's hard to imagine CM Punk having heat backstage.
I know. Who would have ever? Man.
Yeah. Seems like
he's grown up.
So easygoing and
yeah.
He was working with children back then. That's crazy.
I don't know if he was as hurt. He did have the fractured skull.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nothing a Gatorade can't fix.
So basically he was like, he was pissed because realistically, without AJ and Christopher Daniels sticking to their guns, TNA could say, well, to CM Punk.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. Now, eventually, what happens is Kerry Silken buys Ring of Honor for again, depending on who you talk to. Rob Feinstein's side is he was forced out of Ring of Honor by Doug Gentry and Kerry Silken. Mm-hmm. Kerry Silken and Doug Gentry's is the business was going to be dead anyway, so we exercised fiduciary responsibility on him. And it was either A, we're going to sue you for everything we invested, or B, you walk away and it's our company now.
Yeah.
Depending on who you talk to, I tend to believe Kerry and Doug. Eventually, Kerry also forced out Doug Gentry as well. That's another story for another day. I think that was not nearly as acrimonious as the Rob Feinstein split was. I think it was more Doug Gentry was just my general understanding. Doug Gentry was a shady individual that was skimming money out of the company. And Kerry found out about it and he was like, walk away or I press charges.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, CM Punk becomes a major star in Ring of Honor, has the match with Samoa Joe a couple months after this.
Yep.
And then 4 months after has the match that really put Ring of Honor on the map in America.
The match, depending on who you talk to, honestly saves Ring of Honor.
Samoa Joe versus CM Punk 2 in Chicago Ridge, Illinois. That Dave Meltzer gave 5 stars.
It was the first. It was like the first 5-star match in America in like 20 years or something
8.
like that. 8. Okay.
He gave it to Shawn and Taker, Hell in a Cell.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
that match, honestly, like Ring of Honor might not exist anymore without those matches.
I disagree. I don't know if they would have been the nationwide phenomenon that they became. But look, their events sold out. I mean, Ring of Honor could go anywhere in the Midwest, in the East Coast, in just make more than any indie wrestling promotion could.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ring of Honor. Look, I seen many Ring of Honor events live, and I will tell you what Ring of Honor brought to the fans was an idea that you need to be here at bell time because you're going to get every cent you paid for.
Mm-hmm.
And then some. And eventually, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels did return. Yep. 2005, they came back. They were gone for about 2 years. But yeah, AJ Styles at that time was Ring of Honor's first pure wrestling champion.
Yeah.
And
the finals were him and Punk, I believe.
Yep. That started the Steamboat feud.
Yeah.
So and that event was actually the first Ring of Honor event after the scandal broke. It's called At Our Best.
Yeah.
And like the locker room knew, and then ROH Reborn came, and you had a promo from Low-Ki, who called Rob Feinstein a baby toucher.
Yeah.
Really?
On a live mic.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I ain't working for no company that's run by a baby toucher.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a promo. Damn. Nice promo, kid.
Low key is
Oh,
oh man. If Austin, and no offense to Austin or Matt, if you guys knew what I knew about Low Key, we could do an episode on Low Key.
we should. We should.
Low Key was the samurai version of MJF.
Yeah, that's honestly fair.
You want a guy who believed in kayfabe? It was Low Key.
Yeah.
He would tell kids at a Ring of Honor show, I ain't signing your fucking shit, you little motherfucker.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he is this 5'11" guy. The deepest voice
Yeah.
ever.
Incredibly deep. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember him from his short time in WWE. And I remember him.
Yes. I remember I was at a Ring of Honor show in Chicago and I bumped into him as I was leaving and I'm like, Low Key, can I get your autograph? And he looks at me and he goes, I suppose. And I didn't have a pen on me. And so I'm like, hey, let me use your marker. And he goes, gonna ask to use his marker? And I'm like, may I please use your marker? Like, and he signed it and he goes, now get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
Wow.
and then a kid came up to him wearing a AJ Styles TNA shirt. And he goes, can you sign my DVD? And he goes, fuck you.
Wow. All right.
Low Key is love him.
Yeah.
And like, oh man, I would see guys leave the ring after a match with Low Key that looked like they had been through a war.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Loki would shoot. He would knock people out in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember he chopped BJ Whitmer at an event I was at. And you know how if you're there live, you can tell when someone's hurt.
Yeah.
He chopped BJ Whitmer and you just see BJ collapse to both knees and start trying to catch his breath. And like you start seeing like purple spread across his chest.
Yeah.
And BJ's gasping for air. Now, someone who isn't pissed at you would probably step away.
Right.
Not Low Key. Low Key kicks him right in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just crescent kicks him right in the side of the head.
Yeah.
And afterwards, like fans always talked at Ring of Honor shows because we were all smarks. We all thought we knew the business. And it was like people heard Low Key shouting in the locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah, Low Key shoved me also at a Ring of Honor show.
Oh. Well, maybe we should do one on Loki. I'm curious. I'm kind of wondering though. So I'm looking at this. So we're actually coming up on 2 hours. Should we maybe put a pin in AJ Styles Part 1 or?
Oh man, we really got off the rails with Ring of Honor. But the thing with Ring of Honor,
it's a big part of the story though.
It is a big part of the AJ Styles story because a lot of it is what might have been. I mean, it is if it isn't, it should be one of the biggest what ifs in pro wrestling history.
Yeah.
What if AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels said F you to NWA,
right,
and stayed with Ring of Honor? I mean,
because AJ never won the Ring of Honor world title.
No. And that was the caveat to being the pure wrestling champion.
Yeah.
Is you were the number one contender for the Ring of Honor title.
Yeah.
And look, people can sit here and say, well, what if is just one giant hypothetical? Sure as shit it is. Fine. It is. But this what if, the domino effect it would have had.
Mhm.
I don't know if we have TNA wrestling today if those
Right.
two don't stay.
Right.
I mean, Ring of Honor could be what AEW is right now.
Mhm.
Because who knows? I
Mhm.
mean, you go further. What if Rob Feinstein hadn't entered that chat room?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot there. And I think Ring of Honor doesn't get the credit they deserve for being so key to AJ Styles' career.
Yeah.
It was huge for him because he went from being thought of as a cruiserweight or X division guy to, we can put this guy at the top of the card and it's believable. People want to see him there.
Yeah.
He isn't just a niche guy. He can be in the main event.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So should we call it for part one?
Yeah, part one.
Right.
We'll probably next week we'll talk about the tail end of his TNA run.
Okay.
Because there's a lot to unpack there.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
A lot to unpack.
Yeah.
And him kind of really reinventing himself.
He did. Yeah, I remember that.
Japan.
Yeah.
And then
spoiler alert, one of the greatest runs a wrestler has ever had, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Japan run?
His New Japan and second ROH run, in my opinion. Yeah.
His second ROH run, what made that run so great is it was really just a bunch of one-offs.
Yeah. But like you had that like aura of him being the leader of the Bullet Club and having the IWGP title, like.
Oh, I thought you meant his run. That's his third Ring of Honor run.
Okay, yeah, but I meant like return to like Ring of Honor, like yeah, but that New Japan / indie run that he went on, I think was one of the greatest runs a wrestler has ever been on.
Yeah. So no, the AJ Styles story, far from being over.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a guy that he is Mr. TNA. Without him, you do not have TNA wrestling.
When you think of TNA, AJ Styles should be the first person you think of.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Like almost by far. Just the matches he had, and like one of my favorite matches ever, just all time, if I were to put a top 10, is Unbreakable 2005. AJ, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels in the triple threat. It is, I believe, still to this day, the only 5-star match TNA ever had in their history, and it's worthy of it. It is an incredible match, and like there's other matches too that AJ had.
The risks AJ did to get the X division on the map.
Yeah.
I think that is one of his most underrated contributions because he did spots in the Ultimate X that like doing a Styles Clash to someone from 2 ring ropes crisscross 10 feet above the ring, and he's doing his finisher to someone.
Yeah.
Like, and he has to take more risk than his opponent does.
Yeah.
His opponent just has to lay there and take it. That's easier than it sounds, but if his opponent moves, if his opponent adjusts, AJ's in a lot of pain.
Yeah, and like that just goes to show like how much he believed in TNA as a company. Like there was a lot of guys in his era that looked at TNA as a paycheck or looking at it as their last stop. But AJ and those other group of guys, like they really believed in TNA. They wanted TNA to be the legit alternative to WWE.
They did.
And
I
You
mean,
know,
his
it was just
promo,
how passionate he was
his
about TNA.
promo with Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Jeff, yeah. With
Yeah,
Jeff
it was
Hardy,
Jeff.
when Jeff Hardy returned,
hmm
people were like, that was worked. That wasn't work. That was AJ legitimately telling Jeff
It was
Hardy,
a worked shoot, probably, but
you know what? You pissed on everything I built by
like,
doing that.
are you trying to take food off my table?
Yeah. Well, it was all of it was true.
It was.
AJ built that ship, and that could have been the iceberg.
Yeah.
Like his blood, sweat, and tears went into that, and you, because what, you couldn't stay off drugs for 5 hours?
Yeah.
You ruined that. So yeah,